For a lot of us, a car is simply a way to get from one place to the next. But for a spearfish man, the automobile played a much bigger role in his life over the last 50 years. Sadly, today marked the end of that role. Talk to him for just a few minutes, and it's hard not to get a sense of just how much Les Schuchart loves his cars.
They're all favorites. We worked on all of them, put a lot of time in all of them, getting them run right and everything, and looking nice.
Over the course of his 50-plus year hobby, well, he calls it a hobby, I'd call it more of a passion, Schuchart bought, fixed, and refinished 27 autos, some dating back more than 100 years.
I've got the history on one Ford all the way back from the factory.
But now, that Ford will be history to him.
They don't deteriorate, they're still here, but we're not.
Father Time is finally starting to take his toll on Schuchart and his wife.
We can't do any work on them in the garage hardly anymore, and we can't drive them, we can't play with them, so it's time to give them somebody else.
Billed as the Schuchart Collection by Vanderbrink Auctions, the rare automobiles went to the auction block today one by one. Not only did he collect for half a century, his collection spans half a century. From a 1962 Plymouth to this 1957 Plymouth behind me, all the way back to a 1900 steamer that I'm reflected in right now.
It's hard to give it up, but on the other hand, we've had our fun.
More than 1,000 bidders from 10 different countries turned out, some by phone, to secure their pieces of the collection of cars and parts. And as they picked through the remains of his decades of work, a group of buzzards circling not too far off took on something of a poetic tone.
We've had our fun. It's time to get rid of them and let somebody else have them. Pass the stick on to somebody else.
Now, Schuchart is also big on knowing the history of the cars and the people who made them. At one point, he called Henry Ford an ornery old bugger and bragged that his paint jobs are much nicer than the originals done by, quote, a bunch of farm boys with 6-inch brushes. And apparently it did pay off. He got more than $100,000 for at least a couple of the cars.